ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, X-Wing players, and anyone who is potentially interested in X-Wing or other Star Wars games. Welcome to our channel. This is a channel that is dedicated to games inside the Star Wars universe. My call sign is BatMando. If you are new to X-Wing, then this is the channel to watch. And if you are getting into 2.5, then this is the place to be. Welcome to our Star Wars X-Wing community. If you are a brand new player to this game, then we just wanted to let you know that there are always plenty of pilots that are willing to help you at your local game store. There are plenty of veteran pilots out there that are willing to give you advice, insights, and strategies. But if you need more, that is what this channel is here for. This is our video series that we call Starfighter Orientation, where we smuggle all of the inside information that we can about every ship in the game. Even if you do not fly the faction of the ship that we are talking about in this video, it may be extremely useful to know all of its stats, actions, tactics, and top pilots. So, now, without any code clearance, I turn you over to your instructor. Best of luck to you, pilot. At one point in time, ladies and gentlemen, I was focused mostly as a scum player, and then I was seduced and converted into the First Order. So one of the reasons that I was seduced into the First Order was one of the ships that you're about to see right now, and that is the one, the only, the TIE Fighter SF, also known as the Special Forces TIE Fighter. So, in which case, ladies and gentlemen, follow me, if you will, with the Starfighter Orientation to tell you why this ship was so easily to seduce me. So, in which case, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we have the generic ship, and one of its features is the heavy weapon turret. One of the other features that we will talk about when we get to our pilots is how it has a gunner slot that comes as a free cost to you now under the points as they are. So, in which case, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that the heavy weapon turrets, you can rotate your indicator either to the front arc or to the rear arc, and you must treat the primary arc requirement of your missile upgrades as the turret indicator itself, meaning you can fire missiles out the front or missiles out the back. Now, that being said, this ship is incredibly maneuverable, as you can see by the dial there. It has virtually every maneuver under the sun from 1 to 3 and a very speedy 4 and 5. Don't forget these 2-3 seniors loop, or as we prefer to call them, sloops. So, in which case, ladies and gentlemen, yes, it only has 4 red maneuvers, but take a look at all the blue here. Mostly 1 forwards and 1 banks for blues. That will get you out of any tricky situation at that point in time. You also have the 2 blues and 1 forward 3 blue in order to get out of a certain situation if you are stressed. Now, that being said, we should probably talk about its tactics, because this ship is quite deadly, especially when you look at the options and how the pilots can use them in their tactics. So, this ship is meant for assault. This ship is also meant to go ahead and shoot you while running away from you at that point in time. So, as you can see by the picture displayed there, it is currently about to fly into the fireball that it just created, because when you put the indicator for your turret to the front and have Special Forces gunner, you can turn this primary 2 attack into 3 attack. And if you have range 1, obviously that will make it a 4 attack. So it wants to be close, it wants to be personal, and it wants to kill you. Let's take a look at one of the pairings that I strongly suggest if you decide to fly 2 of these particular ships together, and that is Backdraft and Quick Draw. You should always fly these 2 as a pair, and you should put Backdraft in the lead. So if you allow a ship to slip in between the 2 of you, then there's a high possibility that you will destroy that ship, especially if you put Backdraft's turret indicator to the rear, where he has a stronger attack at that point in time, especially at range 1. So you definitely want to let a ship slip in. as you will see in the next picture right here. So this pairing could get you up to 4 shots from these two different ships. Now, as you may be able to see right here, the turret indicator shows that it is towards the back, pointed at this lowly Imperial TIE fighter. Even though Quick Draw would not be able to fire range 1 onto this ship, there is a chance that it could do a range 1 damage here. What I will tell you is that even at range 0, you still have a 2 attack die, and if this ship was foolish enough to go ahead and shoot at Quick Draw and take a shield, they would already be receiving a bonus attack from Quick Draw at that point in time. So, in which case, let's go ahead and talk about our top 3 pilots for this particular ship. And obviously, Quick Draw is going to be one of my top 3, Backdraft for a second, and then third, Lieutenant Lehus. Now, let's go ahead and discuss why these 3 pilots. Our first pilot we'll discuss is Quick Draw. Now, Quick Draw comes with a charge, and after you lose a shield, you may spend that charge, and if you do, you may perform a bonus primary attack at that point in time. Now, another thing you need to be careful of is you're only allowed 1 bonus attack, hence the charge. But as you can see down here with the Special Forces Gunner upgrade that I strongly recommend that you put on this ship because it costs you nothing and it's absolutely essential for this ship to be as successful as it can be. So while you perform a primary attack, if your indicator is in the primary attack arc, then you may roll 1 additional attack die. So if you get range 1, that is going to be 4 attack die instead of the 2 that is on the card. But if you are performing a primary attack and your indicator is in the rear, you may perform a bonus turret attack instead, especially if it is in the rear. So, in which case, ladies and gentlemen, so you could fire out the front, fire out the back, depending on which pilot that you are using. However, ladies and gentlemen, if Quick Draw is hit and you've already shot out the front and out the back, you may not use her ability to fire again, even though you may have had a shield stripped off of you. Now, that being said, Quick Draw is very dangerous, and you don't want to let Quick Draw just run around and run in through your fleet. So let's go ahead and talk about my second choice, and that is Backdraft. Again, wanting to remind you of the Special Forces Gunner, let's go ahead and show that while you perform a primary attack using the turret, if the defender is in your rear arc, you may roll 1 additional attack die. Hence why I suggested you put Backdraft in the front to fly through and then have a ship slip in between Backdraft and Quick Draw so that you can go ahead and get that rear attack at 4 attack dice, and then Quick Draw can be behind and fire 4 attack dice into that ship that you let slip in between the two of you. Now, both of these pilots are available in the TIE SF expansion pack, and I strongly recommend both of them. Now, another pilot that I recommend, but is not available in that particular pack, you will have to find this pilot in the Hotshots and Aces reinforcement pack. So, Lieutenant Lehus, while you perform an attack, you may spend another friendly ship's luck on the defender to roll any number of your results. So, still has a heavy weapon turret, and yes, you could still put the Special Forces Gunner on Lieutenant Lehus, but ultimately, in the list that you are building with Lieutenant Lehus, you want to have someone who is going to be using a target lock, such as anyone who is in, say, a first order interceptor, because they have the ability to have a target lock for free. Or you may want to use Midnight from the TIE-FO. So, in which case, let's just go ahead and move on, and we will discuss these thoughts and theories more in our form-up episode, which will be this Wednesday. Now, that being said, thank you for watching, and also thank you to hashtag DarthFN for allowing us to use the pictures that he has provided for us in this presentation. Also, thank you to Darksider Darmaset on DeviantArt for the sci-fi dark wall treatments that you see here in this presentation. Now, I will let you go to the outro. All right, thank you so much for all that useful information. If there was anything that you were unclear of during the video, we always provide these links in every video description of every video that we produce, and that is all the links to AMG, the community sites. We have a fandom for questions about ships, and then if you have questions about strategies or various other things, definitely check out the community hub. We're also going to tell you that we provide you links to all the list builders that we recommend, and with that being said, hopefully this helped you out. So if it did, help us out by clicking like on the videos that you like, and we know what more videos to create more of. Please make sure to subscribe to our future transmissions and get your friends to also subscribe as well, because we always need new pilots. That being said, thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram or friend us on Facebook. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below so that other people can see the questions and learn from them just like you. All right, so thank you to Slides Go, Flat Icon, Free Pick for the use of their media in our presentation. And as always, BatMando out.